Silver is probably the most undervalued asset on the planet, and we look at that from not only its geologic relationship going back 5,000 years, but also its price relationship with gold.
Imagine if your money was just numbers on a screen, vulnerable to chaos. But what if I told you about something real, something tangible? Gold and silver. They're not just numbers, they're strongholds in uncertain times. Think of gold as a fortress and silver as an intelligent path. It's about keeping your money safe, not quick gains. They're like bodyguards for your wealth. And as the world changes, their importance grows. Let's explore the journey of their explosive growth in this video.
And this here is gold. Real money, fake money. So the yen, the rupee, the dollar, the peso, all fake. So when I was 9 or 10 years old, I started finding that out. I said, how come they don't teach us money at school? Well, they don't want you to know it's fake.
The digital nature of assets. Imagine for a moment the wealth you've accumulated, the hard-earned money you've saved, and the investments you've made, all existing in digital digits. It's not just numbers on a screen, it's the foundation of your financial security. But have you ever stopped to consider what happens when that digital realm is chaotic? In today's interconnected world, most of our assets are nothing more than strings of numbers stored in various accounts. Your bank account, your investment portfolio, even your cryptocurrency holdings, they're all digital. But what if I told you that this digital existence comes with vulnerabilities that can be exposed in the blink of an eye? In times of crisis, the true nature of these digital assets is put to the test. When uncertainty strikes, when the markets falter, questions arise about the very existence of these intangible figures. Can you access your funds when everyone else rushes to do the same? Banks, which once held the promise of safeguarding your money, are now undercapitalized, walking a tightrope of insolvency. Just look at what happened to Coinbase, the largest cryptocurrency exchange in the US. The word bankruptcy was uttered, and suddenly the security of your digital coins was jeopardized. Think about it. Your investments and savings are all held as digital representations with no physical form. The risks are real, and they're growing. This isn't merely a hypothetical scenario, it's a pressing concern. The comfort of seeing numbers on a screen can be deceptive, masking the fragility that underlies our modern financial system. So what's the alternative? Enter physical metals, gold and silver. These aren't just numbers on a balance sheet or entries in a digital ledger. They are tangible, real-world assets that you can hold in your hand that exist beyond counterparty risk.
Best investment in the world today is called silver.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is because I study history a lot. This here is fake money. I would never work for this stuff. It's good as toilet paper. So the biggest investment today is this. This is 35 US. And I think everybody in the world can afford this today.
It's not just about the value they represent, it's about the inherent security that comes from owning something you can touch, something immune to the vulnerabilities of a digital world. In the next part, we'll delve deeper into the role of physical metals as a safeguard against uncertainty, the pivotal link between the dollar's value and precious metals, and why owning gold and silver isn't just about wealth creation, it's about wealth preservation. Stay tuned for a journey that will change how you view your financial future. Physical metal as a tangible asset. In a world dominated by digital transactions and virtual wealth, it's essential to consider the tangible value of physical assets. Gold and silver, two of the oldest forms of currency and wealth preservation, starkly contrast to the digital digits that comprise our financial landscape. Andy Schectman, a renowned expert in commodities, says when we talk about physical metal, these are tangible items that you hold in your possession, free from counterparty risk. Unlike digital wealth, physical metals can't disappear with a keystroke or server malfunction. Owning physical gold and silver means having something real, something you can touch, feel, and secure. In a time where the fragility of digital systems is becoming increasingly apparent, the appeal of owning something physical is undeniable. But why does this matter, especially during uncertain times? Well, the answer lies in the very nature of tangible assets. In times of economic turmoil, political unrest, and currency instability, having wealth immune to digital systems vulnerabilities is a distinct advantage. It's like having a lifeboat in the stormy sea of financial uncertainty. Imagine a scenario where digital accounts are frozen, transactions are halted, and access to your funds is restricted. At that moment, the value of having a physical asset that's universally recognized and accepted becomes crystal clear. Gold and silver have weathered countless crises throughout history, serving as a reliable store of value when everything else seems to be in turmoil. Valuation and the role of precious metals. When discussing the value of precious metals like gold and silver, it's crucial to understand their relationship with the US dollar. Think of the dollar as the water in a bathtub and gold and silver as items resting on the ledge. When the dollar's value changes, it directly impacts how we perceive the value of gold and silver. Just like pulling the plug in a bathtub leads to the water level dropping, a weakening dollar causes the value of gold and silver to appear higher, even though it's the dollar losing weight rather than the metals gaining worth. To illustrate this point, let's look back at history. Take the example of the Weimar Republic in Germany after World War I. People were seen pushing wheelbarrows full of banknotes to buy a loaf of bread. This extreme hyperinflation resulted from the collapse of their currency's value. While we might not be in that dire situation today, the lesson remains clear.
So we have so many people working for this fake stuff. Toilet paper, I call it, But they don't know because our school systems won't tell us. So as a young boy, that's what my study was. What is this and what is this? This is money. This is not.
A rapidly depreciating dollar can have far-reaching consequences for our economy and financial stability. Andy Schectman states, "Gold and silver represent immutable wealth. These metals have maintained their value for over 5,000 years, serving as a store of wealth when traditional currencies falter." Amidst the uncertainty of our times, it's more important than ever to recognize the role of precious metals in preserving your wealth. The role of precious metals in uncertain times. Amidst the turbulence of uncertain times, the allure of gold and silver shines brighter than ever. These precious metals have stood the test of centuries, providing a beacon of stability when the world is plunged into chaos. As Andy Schectman aptly puts it, having physical metal with the removal of counterparty risk is huge, it's important, it's relevant. In a world where wealth exists mainly as digital figures susceptible to economic storms, the tangibility of gold and silver becomes a vital anchor. Schectman believes that the days of the US dollar reigning supreme as the world's primary reserve currency are ending. The winds of change are evident as powerful nations like Saudi Arabia, Nigeria, Russia, and China strategically distance themselves from the dollar's grasp. These nations are embracing alternatives like the yuan, the rupee, and even gold-based digital currencies, signaling a shifting global landscape. Schectman states it's the beginning of the end for the dollar. History bears witness to the importance of gold and silver during geopolitical turmoil. They have been sought after during wars, economic collapses, and financial crises, offering a hedge against the eroding value of fiat currencies. With the geopolitical climate growing more uncertain by the day, the need for a tangible store of value has never been more apparent. Imagine a scenario where the dollar's reign is challenged on the world stage. As Schectman suggests, if OPEC, the organization controlling a significant portion of global oil production, decides to shift away from the dollar, it could catalyze a seismic shift in the financial landscape. This move would undermine the dollar's status as the petrodollar, potentially igniting a chain reaction that leads to hyperinflation, plummeting stocks, bonds, and real estate values. In such a scenario, gold and silver would shine as safe havens in a stormy sea of uncertainty.
So what we are witnessing, in my opinion, is the value of a generation. However, when the music stops, if it were my choice, I would own gold, because the biggest money in the world, the central banks, the hedge funds, the sovereign wealth funds, the commercial banks, they're all accumulating gold, and I believe it will be the backing of a new system.
To Schectman, gold and silver aren't merely shiny commodities. They represent a timeless form of wealth, a beacon of financial stability in shifting tides. Gold and silver are wealth. You don't want to inject speculation, he emphasizes. Amid the potential chaos of a shifting global financial order, the intrinsic value of these metals shines through. The upcoming chapters in the story of global finance may be uncertain, but one thing remains clear: the enduring value of gold and silver. As you navigate the currents of uncertainty, remember the wisdom of history and the words of Andy Schectman, reminding us that in times of geopolitical upheaval, owning these tangible assets can offer solace in an ever-changing world. What should you choose, gold or silver? Now that we've covered the essence of physical metals as a safeguard against digital vulnerabilities, let's delve into a crucial decision: gold versus silver. As Andy Schectman puts it, the idea is if it's coming out of the ground at 7-1, globally being mined at 7-1 because it's found in nature in something called epithermal, which is very close to the surface. This highlights a critical factor in this decision-making process: the gold to silver ratio. The gold to silver ratio reflects how many ounces of silver it takes to purchase 1 ounce of gold. Historically, this ratio has averaged around 42-1 over the last 200 years. However, this ratio has swelled to approximately 83-1 in the current landscape, indicating that silver is significantly undervalued compared to gold. So, why consider silver over gold at this point? Andy Schectman points out that this discrepancy suggests a potential opportunity. Acquiring silver while it's undervalued could provide a strategic advantage. As the ratio corrects, you could exchange your accumulated silver for gold at a more favorable rate. It's important to note that Andy Schectman doesn't merely advocate for silver as a wealth creator. Instead, he underscores the notion of wealth preservation. The objective here is to safeguard your purchasing power, ensuring that your assets remain resilient amid the uncertainty of fiat currencies. However, there are more complicated choices between one precious metal and another. It's about the pathway to wealth preservation. While gold is considered the ultimate repository of wealth, silver, due to its current undervaluation, offers a means of accumulating more gold. Andy Schectman's perspective encourages a balanced approach. While he ultimately believes in the enduring power of gold, seizing the current silver opportunity could pave the way to acquiring more gold as circumstances evolve. By accumulating silver now, you position yourself to strategically shift when the gold to silver ratio aligns more favorably with historical averages.
So, not to confuse people by saying that silver is the most undervalued asset on the planet and maybe a generational opportunity, I think the way to play it is you realize that for 5,000 years there was a 16-1 relationship to silver to gold. And that was geologically based, but also price based. Even when Isaac Newton was figuring out how we should figure out gold and silver for the currencies of the Royal Mint, it was 16-1. If you dug a hole 5,000 years ago, 16 ounces of silver would be found for every 1 ounce of gold. And if you realize that that number has been cut in half, Keith Neumeyer will tell you that it's coming out of the ground right now globally at 7-1, meaning it's been cut in half. That geologic ratio for all of time was 16-1, now it's 7-1, yet it's priced at roughly 80-1. There's a massive disconnection.
The choice between gold and silver isn't about picking one over the other. It's about understanding their roles in a changing financial landscape. Silver's current undervaluation presents an opportunity to accumulate tangible assets that could serve as a bridge to more excellent wealth preservation through gold. How to acquire gold or silver, and what to look for as an investor. When it comes to acquiring gold or silver, you can consider a few routes. You can purchase physical metals from reputable dealers, such as bullion coins or bars. This allows you to own the tangible asset directly. Another option is investing in precious metal exchange-traded funds, ETFs, representing ownership of gold or silver without holding the physical metal. Additionally, you can explore mining stocks or even cryptocurrency-backed tokens tied to precious metals. As an investor, there are several important factors to consider. First, ensure you're using a trustworthy source when acquiring physical metals. Look for reputable dealers who offer genuine products and transparent pricing. Research the market to understand current trends and prices before making a purchase. When investing in ETFs or mining stocks, carefully evaluate the fund's or company's track record, management, and performance. Diversification is key. Consider spreading your investment across different types of assets to reduce risk. Keep an eye on economic indicators and geopolitical events that could impact the value of gold and silver. Remember that while these metals offer a hedge against economic uncertainty, their value can fluctuate based on various factors. Having a long-term perspective and considering your overall investment strategy is essential. The ultimate goal: wealth preservation. Now, let's get to the heart of the matter. Regarding gold and silver ownership, their primary role isn't instant wealth creation, it's wealth preservation. This may differ from conventional investing wisdom, but it's crucial. Think of gold as your main wealth fortress. A trusted store of value across history shines when other assets falter, an anchor in any solid financial plan. What about silver? It's more than secondary, it's a strategic asset. With a lower price, it's easier to accumulate. And as the gold to silver ratio shifts, your silver assets can unlock more gold. Andy Schectman advises, go heavy on silver, switch to gold when the ratio corrects. This readies you for future value. When the ratio evens out, trade silver for gold, strengthening wealth preservation. In a nutshell, owning gold and silver isn't about quick riches. It's about securing against economic turbulence. Gold is your foundation. Silver is your dynamic path to more gold. Remember, this isn't get rich quick. It's about shielding your hard-earned wealth. As paper money's value wavers, precious metals protect your financial well-being. These precious metals are more than just commodities. They're guardians of wealth and protectors of financial security. In times of uncertainty and shifting economic landscapes, their value becomes even more evident. So, what's the takeaway from all of this? Owning physical gold and silver isn't just a smart move, it's strategic. It's about embracing tangible assets that have withstood the test of time while the world around us undergoes constant change. Remember, it's not about becoming an overnight millionaire. It's about safeguarding your purchasing power, ensuring that your wealth retains its strength regardless of the monetary winds that blow. If you found this information eye-opening and valuable, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to check out this video for more financial information. Thank you for joining us today, and until next time, stay informed, stay curious, and take charge of your financial journey.